Now at 5:30, he led police in a multi-state search and then a multi-county chase here in central Kentucky. We'll have the latest on the arrest of this FBI fugitive.
Also on WKYT this morning, a man accused of committing Lexington's first homicide of 2015 will be in court today, and we'll have the latest on that case.
And a Kentucky animal shelter says a social media page asking people to boycott the shelter is full of lies. We'll have a look at that story.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and it's so good to have you with us on WKYT here on Wednesday. It's Hump Day. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. We're actually going to have a bit of a departure, I guess, from the snow today.
Yeah, how about that? Maybe some sunshine, in fact. It's a cold start out there, though, this morning. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris, who's tracking the changes in weather. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. And the changes outside, cold, extremely cold outside. As we're sitting there in the teens, and also sunny skies. We'll bring back the sunshine like we had yesterday afternoon. And we're at 14 there in Frankfort, 14 in Lexington. As we see that traffic cam a little messed up, we'll get that taken care of. Frigid start this morning. Now heading in through the day, we'll start to see those temperatures rise very rapidly. But when you start off in the teens, there's a problem there. It can rise rapidly, but it won't rise that much, or I would say far enough to make it feel good outside. It's still going to be very cool, 39. Some of us will be in the lower 40s, but it's that sunshine that takes over. It doesn't last long because tonight and into tomorrow morning, that's when we start to see those changes. Clouds roll on in, and so does the rain. What about snow, though? I'll show you when that falls in your forecast coming up.
All right, see you in a bit. Let's get to the news.
We go now to a developing story we are tracking this morning out of Estill County.
Police right now investigating a deadly shooting in Irvin. It happened at a home on Sugar Hollow Road late last night. One man is confirmed dead, and state police say they know who the shooter is. So far, they have not made any arrests. Now, we'll continue tracking the story. We'll let you know any new information as soon as it's available to us here. A multi-state search for a kidnapping suspect led to a multi-county chase here in Kentucky.
Robert Caldwell, suspected of kidnapping a man in Missouri and then a girl in Kentucky, was arrested in Lincoln County yesterday. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with the latest on this case. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. After a 5-day search spanning 600 miles, the fugitive wanted for a crime spree in Kentucky and Missouri is now facing local, state, and federal charges. Deputies say yesterday, Robert Caldwell forced a 13-year-old Casey County girl to get into a stolen Jeep at gunpoint. We're told he led officers on a chase across several counties before he was finally stopped in Lincoln County. Authorities say Caldwell's crime spree started last week in Kansas City, where he stole a 67-year-old man's van and then forced him to come with him. We're told the man was able to escape in St. Louis, but authorities say they didn't find the van until Caldwell crashed it later in Bardstown. The search for Caldwell ended around 3:30 yesterday afternoon in a cornfield across from the Lincoln County High School, when investigators say the fugitive couldn't run any farther.
The guy hit the brakes, and he was right beside our vehicle. And as soon as he hit the brakes, there was smoke coming out of his tires because he was going so fast. And so he turns, and he actually hits the grass here and hit a sign, knocked over a sign.
Caldwell will be arraigned in Lincoln County on a long list of charges Thursday. Police say fortunately the 13-year-old girl who was kidnapped wasn't hurt. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you.
This morning, the man charged in Lexington's first homicide of 2015 will be facing a judge.
20-year-old Matthew Donahue is charged with killing his boyfriend, 40-year-old Todd Schumacher, in their home on Lamont Drive. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live at District Court with a look at the case ahead. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning. A man charged with stabbing his boyfriend to death is scheduled to have his second day in court this morning. 20-year-old Matthew Donahue is accused of killing 40-year-old Todd Schumacher on January 18th. It happened in their home on Lamont Drive. Donahue was in court last week for his arraignment, where he pleaded not guilty and a judge denied him bond. Donahue was already going through the court system on a care and treatment of animals charge from last October. Police say he put his roommate's canine in a hot oven, causing multiple burns. Friends tell us that dog is the same one that Schumacher reported missing just a few days before he was stabbed to death. Donahue's preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 this morning. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. A Winchester woman accused of trying to kill her newborn is to be in court this morning. Cassandra Haney's preliminary hearing is set for later today in Clark County. Police say Haney gave birth in a toilet and put the baby in a garbage bag in her home on Linden Avenue earlier this month. Her roommate heard the crying baby and called the police. That baby has since been released from a hospital.
Former Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Conley will spend more than 7 years in prison. A federal judge sentenced Conley Tuesday in a corruption case. Investigators say he rigged bids on Morgan County bridge projects and received more than $100,000 in kickbacks. During his sentencing, a tearful Conley apologized, saying he made a bad choice. But he had little to say to WKYT's Sean Moody as he left court.
Mr. Conley, is there any statement you'd like to make to the people of Kentucky or Morgan County?
Not at this time.
Okay. Do you feel the punishment is just?
Not at this time. I just want to go home, guys. Just let me go home and be in peace.
The judge also ordered Conley to pay $130,000 in restitution to the state and Morgan County. Conley has to report to prison by March 24th.
Parts of the Northeast still dealing with the aftermath of this week's blizzard. Thousands are without power, and in some areas, it's waves that are causing problems, not snow. Strong winds causing flooding all the way from New Jersey up to Maine, and seawalls have collapsed before high tide. Some parts of Massachusetts got as much as 32 inches of snow, and they could get another 10 inches this morning. New York and New Jersey missed the worst of the storm.
Snow during a school day. Some Kentucky schools are now resorting to new methods to make sure students learn even when they have to be away from the classroom. They're called ELearning Days, and students can take technology home and turn in assignments online. Schools in Louisville are trying the method, as well as schools in Jessamine County. Students and educators have some different ideas on how the method will work.
I'm wondering, how's it going to go for kids who don't have the motivation to do it during school hours? I mean, they have a hard time doing it then. How are they going to do it at home?
I don't think that we'll have any new issues, and as a matter of fact, when kids can control their schedule a little bit more and decide what time of day they're going to work on their studies, I think they'll be a little more engaged than normal.
Teachers also hold virtual office hours, so they're available if students have questions.
We have a few school closings and delays to pass along this morning. Franklin County schools are closed today because of some water main problems over in Frankfort. Lincoln County schools are also closed today. Clay, Knox, and Leslie counties all on a 2-hour delay this morning. Go to WKYT.com for the latest closings and delays.
Well, the Pulaski County Animal Shelter is sounding the warning on what it calls a social media scam. Someone has set up a Facebook page asking people to boycott the shelter. There's a picture of a shelter posted to the page, but the picture is of a shelter in Milwaukee. It was taken from a news station's website that featured a slideshow of a Wisconsin shelter shut down for bad conditions. The director at the shelter here in Kentucky says the posts about their facility are lies.
The people that done this is just hurting the animals. It's not hurting us, they're hurting the animals because it's going to keep them from being adopted or rescued.
Bray says if you have any doubts, she invites anyone to come and see the shelter for themselves.
Hundreds of people gathered to say goodbye to former Kentucky Senator and Governor Wendell Ford. His funeral was yesterday in Owensboro. Ford died last week at the age of 90. Vice President Joe Biden and former President Bill Clinton were among those at the funeral. Those who knew Ford say he was a friend of the common man.
He was every man. He was a man of a common person. He was a person who always had Kentucky on his mind.
Ford was buried during a private ceremony at a Davis County cemetery.
A man's charged in the deaths of a Georgia couple who were trying to buy a car off Craigslist. Bud and June Runyon drove from an Atlanta suburb last week in search of a classic car. Their bodies were discovered in the woods on Monday. They'd been shot in the head. Ronnie Towns later turned himself in to police. He's now charged with murder and armed robbery.
Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for a Pennsylvania man accused of killing a police officer and injuring another. Eric Frein faces a dozen charges, including terrorism and first-degree murder, all in connection with a September ambush outside the state police barracks in Blooming Grove, there in Pennsylvania. He's accused of shooting 2 officers and then going on the run for weeks. Police caught him at an abandoned airport on October 30th.
President Barack Obama has announced his pick for Attorney General. It's Loretta Lynch, who currently serves as the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. If confirmed, Lynch would be the first African-American woman to serve as Attorney General. She will likely face tough questions from Republican lawmakers on whether she will support Obama's executive action on illegal immigration.
5:40 the time on WKYT this morning, and it's time for a look at live drive traffic. Let's see how things are moving along bright and early on your Wednesday.
All right, not too much happening that we're hearing of. Obviously different scene this morning compared to yesterday morning when we had all that snow. So looking pretty good, not hearing of any issues. I-64 and I-75, the northern split there looking good.
And no reports of any trouble in town as well this morning. Everybody moving along okay, at least bright and early. And there's more news coming up for you on this Wednesday on WKYT.
Well, it may sound like something from the plot of a horror movie, but it is real life. In just a few minutes, meet Bart, the zombie cat.
Say goodbye to the snow for at least 24 hours. We look toward the afternoon. Looks pretty good. It's going to be downright cold, but then here comes more snow as we head toward the weekend. And I'll show you the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.